This is the Sports Dynasty Podcast. I'm Trevor. This is Juan. And today we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs so far. We're going to talk about the news first. NBA news that broke early this morning. We're talking about, wrapping up the first round of the playoffs. And we have a treat for y'all. We've been very, very modest and very, very,
We have been very modest in the middle of the past 2020.
But we get to have a treat for you. It's rant time!
It's an old school episode of SDP.
Yes. It's been a while. And for those who've been following us since the beginning, you're going to love this. Pure comedy. It's informative, but funny. So I can't wait because I have a lot to say about a certain team in the state of Wisconsin and another team that plays in Los Angeles, but not the Lakers. No, it's that other second-rate team. But we'll get to that in a second. But first, like, share, subscribe. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartradio, Google Play Radio, Stitcher Radio, at Podcast Dynasty on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We got the Facebook group going on, Sports Dynasty Podcast. Check us out. Be a part of the conversation. We're on Instagram at Sports Dynasty Podcast, and we have a website at sportsdynastypodcast.com. Subscribe on the website so you'll be notified for every time we upload content. Now, that being said,
and because I forgot to say at the beginning of last episode, not NBA episode, the NFC West episode, we're having a big NFL predictions episode next week. So you people, you beautiful, wonderful, sexy human beings, should post your predictions on either the group chat, the group, period,
the group.
Or on our Instagram, or on our I don't know why I'm blanking, but anywhere you can hit us up at, DMs, whatever the heck. And I will post your predictions right on the video on YouTube.
And we'll shout you out too.
Yep.
Yeah, shout you out too.
Yep, I'll read it out. If just in case of people who don't watch on YouTube, I'll read it out in the podcast too.
Yeah, of course. So
I already have like 2 or 3. So
yeah. So that being said,
it's gonna
be fun. So
it's gonna be good.
But let's wrap up the first round real quick.
No, we're not. We're going for the news.
The news. Yeah, the news.
Yeah, this only takes like 2 minutes. But the news that Steve Nash is now the coach.
Steve Nash is now the coach of the Brooklyn Nets.
I don't see a problem with it.
Good for him. Yeah. Me personally.
Go ahead.
Me personally, no one's seen this coming. And people say, he doesn't have the coaching experience, but I don't know. Steve Kerr barely had coaching experience.
Yes, it's a risk.
It is a risk.
But it can be a high reward, Steve Kerr, or it could be damn near everybody else. Trash. But we have yet to find out. This is a man who has played on the D'Antoni 7 seconds or less system. Keith Kerr was a consultant in that team while that was going on, so they both have the same experience there. Steve Nash, if I'm not mistaken, was a consultant for my Golden State Warriors when they were the Justice League. So he already has Steve Kerr's system in it too. He has a tremendous amount of basketball knowledge coming into this, as does mostly every player too. But this is similar stuff going towards Steve Kerr. The only thing he doesn't have experience with is the triangle that Steve Kerr did because he played for Phil Jackson. So, but I don't see much of a problem. It's worth it. But according to some people, who will remain nameless around the media, apparently this might have something to do with black and white.
There you go. Again, listen, we try to make it political, but we have to say it because it was said in the media, so we got to say it.
No names.
Why? I don't understand why the media has to point out that there aren't opportunities in the NBA for black coaches. Now, this is the NFL, it'll be a whole different story. In the NBA, they're so diverse. There's so many opportunities, and there's so much avenue for these coaches to grow in systems. So when they do get that head coaching job, they can get it. They're much more prepared. Steve Nash is a Hall of Famer, one of the smartest basketball minds in the world. Just because he doesn't have coaching experience, but he does have, like he mentioned before, when he was at Golden State as a consultant, He's a prodigy of D'Antoni, so he has knowledge of that. You know what I'm saying? And also he's a players coach. He can relate to the players as well.
Two-time MVP.
Yeah, MVP. Yeah, and it says that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant were completely on board with it.
They probably pushed it. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Now, when I first heard it, I'm like, why? Why? It's Steve Nash came out of nowhere. But I think by saying, you know what, it makes sense. Sometimes you usually have a different avenue to start off with. Now, it's not saying, now this particular person in the media did say that he got the job because of white privilege, which to me is completely outrageous because
it's asinine. Yeah,
it's outrageous because last time I checked, Ty Lue is literally about to get a job for the Philadelphia 76ers. If it goes through, he may end up in Philadelphia 76ers. Does he belong there? That's yet to be taped. There's to be seen, but.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn he took over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he didn't have any head coaching job experience either.
Exactly, he was just the assistant coach, and LeBron pretty much had his back, and he was able to be the coach. So
I'm also pretty sure that Doc Rivers just came up and started coaching too, out of nowhere. I'm also pretty sure that Magic Johnson did it too, and also played at the same time.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure the African American coaches had. Some guys had opportunities too. I think Isaiah Thomas, if I'm not mistaken, came out of nowhere, started coaching too. I'm not mistaken. But it's just a white thing. Yeah. I'm crazy.
I never understood that either. I think y'all probably already know who this is. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not gonna put clarity on it. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Brooklyn Nets is trying to establish themselves. You know what I'm saying? Is it name cachet for the fans for Brooklyn? Maybe it's name cachet. They want to win a championship, but you want a coach to come there and try to turn it around. Kenny Atkinson was pretty good the last few years. We took over the Nets, but they went in a different direction.
Nothing wrong with that.
Everyone knew that Kenny Atkinson was going to be there for the long run. So to say that it's white privilege that Steve Nash got a job is crap. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's stupid.
If this was the NFL, then okay, maybe you have an argument. But the NBA, I don't want to hear it. You have female assistant coaches who are in the running to be coaches in the near future.
The girl from the Spurs,
like Becky Hammond from the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make
it doesn't at all. So I disagree with him wholeheartedly, and he just saying it just to say it because. They need views.
Of course.
That's whatever.
Trash ESPN. Now, let's go on to the end of the first round. The Utah and Denver one. Let's get this out of the way quick because I hated everything I saw.
Yeah.
So let's get that out of the way. So it was the sloppiest Game 7 I've ever seen in my life. And when I say the one I've ever seen, I only watched the last 5 minutes because I think we were here.
Yeah.
Right? We were here. Yeah. So I got home at like 9:30 and it was like almost done. It's like, so, or whatever time it was, I forgot. So I watched the last 5 minutes and I wanted to kind of vomit. The entire time it was pretty bad, really sloppy. They played like they were tired, which they should be, especially the stars, because like Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell put up like 50 and 40 points like for 6 games straight.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them for being tired, but my gosh, that's 2 people out of the other 10 that are in the court. Like, hello. Like
it was as if I was watching a college basketball game. The score was 80-72. The Denver Nuggets came back 3-1 to beat the Utah Jazz, which, honestly speaking, especially for me, I was not surprised by this at all. I knew this would happen. The Utah Jazz this is a team that's good enough, but they're not good enough to get up the hump. Now, Denver's just that way too, but Denver's just a slightly better team than Utah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Shout out to Jamal Murray for completely going ham. He did what he could. It was a great, fun series, but it's what it is. Utah just not that team. And you know what? On rant part 2, there was dealing with this too. So there was a post on Facebook that said, since the Denver Nuggets were down 3-1, that they are one of like 6 or 7 teams in history to come back 3-1 in the playoffs. Which is okay, cool. They compared saying that Denver's 3-1 comeback was much more impressive than Cleveland's 3-1 comeback in the
I'm
finals.
not even putting this on this show. Are you serious?
And I said, hold up, are you what? First of all, I said, whoever wrote this Bleacher Report, you guys suck. That's just so dumb. Like, it's a final. People say, because if they didn't get suspended or injuries in the finals, it wouldn't have happened. First of all, it's the finals. They beat a 73-win team in the finals. What are we doing here? Was the Denver Nuggets comeback being impressive? Yes, impressive. Anyone come back down being was impressive, but because the Utah Jazz, it basically was just a one-on-one matchup between Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray. That's all it was this series. Other than that, what are we even doing here? Like, really? Like, that's so stupid. Like, people say some dumb stuff for clout. I'm like, shut up. Like,
we don't do that.
We don't do that. So dumb. But yeah, so the Denver Nuggets will advance to the semifinals to
get beat up by the Clippers.
To get beat up by the Clippers, but we'll get to them first. We'll get to them later. Another game 7 next.
But the way Mitchell let me choke was funny. I'm sorry, I laughed. He just lost the ball from rushing, and then Denver sold a layup when he should not went for a layup at all. And then Conley, instead of doing an outlet pass to Mitchell, was wide open because he was on the floor. He decided to take a half-court three. It was just magic. It was a great end of this game. All right, now we can get on to the next one. Yesterday, right? Yesterday's game, which also pissed me the hell off.
The Oklahoma City Thunder were eliminated by the Houston Rockets in the 7-game series after having to come back.
Yeah, I got this one.
Go ahead.
This is wonderful. So I don't know what the hell Billy Donovan was doing, but that dude needs to go. Like, he should have got away like 6 hours ago. I don't know why he's still the coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't really give a rat's ass if they made the playoffs when they weren't projected to make the playoffs, which is stupid, by the way. Because if I'm not mistaken, that trade was all of the Clippers outcasts who played Golden State to 6 games in the 2019 playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. So how bad are those players really if they took Golden State to 6 games? The only other person that stood behind in the Clippers to play with overrated Paul George and the other guy was Beverly and Harrell. That's it. They weren't the ones who were scoring. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't the ones that were scoring Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari and other people? Weren't they the ones scoring? If I'm not mistaken, the answer is yes. So that went to the Thunder, and then they added Chris Paul. So why people thought this team was going to be so whack, I'll never know. Don't understand it. So I'm not surprised they made the playoffs. I had them being a 9th seed because I thought the West was going to be that stacked. But Golden State completely fell apart because Steph Curry broke his dang hand. So that was a playoff spot of ours gone. So that moves them right up to the playoffs. So I'm not surprised they were in the playoffs. So they were good enough. And if you saw the game yesterday, they were good enough. Houston came right on schedule in the 4th quarter and completely shot the bed that wasn't named Robert Covington. Robert Covington played great all game. He was wonderful. He was by far the best player in the team, including Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon didn't do a damn thing in the 4th quarter. James Harden sucked all game, which is a game 7. That's usually Harden time. We want to make the play on the words on game time. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. James Harden is completely ass when it comes to clutch time. So that's exactly on target. He was absolutely disgusting in the entire game. So Westbrook, also Russell Westbrook time, right in the 4th quarter, break 5 layups on the last 3 minutes of the game.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, came right on time. Westbrook came right on time. So Houston did Houston things. They sucked in the 4th quarter. Absolutely disgusting.
Everything to do to throw the game away.
Nothing. Robert Covington was by far the best player in that team yesterday. He deserved a gold medal for carrying them the whole game to me. I don't But when you have a coach who wants to play my player offense, you play 2K. Anybody play NBA 2K? My player offense. My player, I'm going to stand up. You're going to see that I'm not fat for the first time. My player offense is this. They got the dude dribbling, right? Which at this case was Schroeder, dribbling for 19 of the 24 seconds in the shot clock. And then either him or Chris Paul will kick after driving, right? kick and drive when there's like 2 seconds or 1 second left in the shot clock, and they'll dump a 3 and try to get a cheap assist. That's exactly what their offense was. That's called my career, my player offense in the video game. So that's exactly what people do to get cheap assists in the game. And that's what their offense was yesterday. Remember, think about it, remember it from yesterday's game, and you will see that's exactly what they were doing. Lucky for them, Dort was hitting those threes. Lucky for them. Because I do not for the life of me understand what the hell type of offense that was supposed to be. Right? So then that fell apart at the end. So when Houston was doing the Houston special and choking the game away, OKC was doing it right back. So the clutchest team in the NBA didn't show up when they were supposed to. So after that, the last play, holy mother. I also want to talk about the rest because the West were god awful yesterday in both games. We're going to get to the Heat thing. Jesus, the rest were disgusting in both games yesterday. But, so we're not going to talk about the thing that Chris Paul was crying about. So at the end of the game, for some reason, Steven Adams played like the whole 4th quarter. Don't know why. He was a waste of skin. Don't understand why he was on the court. He didn't even rebound yesterday. So I don't even understand why the hell he was on the court as much as he was. I would have rather put Norris the wall because at least he could move. At least he could do something. Steven Adams is literally a waste. He was breaking shots against people who were defending him, and the people who were defending him were 6'5". So I don't understand what the hell he was doing on court for as long as he was. Don't get it. But they had him be near the key instead of going near the rim in that last things because they were down 2. So I thought they were going to either try to go for a quick 3 or they were going to dump it into Adam, try to get a quick layup to tie the game, whatever. No, they had him in front of the inbounder like a dumb ass. And I don't know what the guards were doing. Don't understand it. And you want to see something funny? Go watch Channing Frye's reaction to that last play and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He was going crazy. Because Billy Donovan sucks. He needs to go. He needs to go. Go. He don't got the Russell Westbrook choke my games away excuse anymore. He don't got the playoff P excuse anymore. This is the same result. He needs to go. He's disgusting coach. Rant 1. Next game. Jesus Lord. All right. We got next. Bucks in Miami. Oh, I gotta join again. Oh man. Okay. So Bucks are down 2-0. Remember our NBA episode? I don't know, was that last one or whatever the most recent one was? I think it was the last one we said this, right? Okay. Where we told you specifically what type of team that the Milwaukee Bucks are. What have you seen the last 2 games? A disappearing act from Chris Middleton twice. A Giannis who doesn't know how to score outside of layups. And role players who can't do nothing. The only person that's producing that is a role player is Brook Lopez. That's it. And I can't believe he did that twice. He was raining threes like if he's Steph Curry. I don't know where that came from. We nicknamed him Splash Mountain. It's wonderful. We just laugh every time he makes threes. But as the only person producing from that Bucks team, they don't know what the hell they're doing on offense either. Giannis is so limited as an offensive player, it's ridiculous. I wonder if you guys remember the comments that James Harden said when he said that he has no skill. He just uses his shoulders to get to the rim and do that. I'm paraphrasing, of course. That's not exact words, but he basically said he's not that skilled of a player at all to be getting the hype that he got. That's basically what James Harden's trying to say.
He's right.
And he got destroyed for it, but he was telling the truth. Again, you're seeing it for the 2nd straight year in the postseason. Now that he's not playing against trash teams anymore, the Charlottes and the Bulls and other Magics and the Knicks and other dumb trash teams that you see in the East all the time. Now that he's not playing against that, he looks pedestrian. I wonder why. I never understood why he got the hype that he got in the last 3 years. I like the dude and I think he's a good player, but he's vastly overrated because he's too limited on offense. He can't shoot anything. You look at the beginning of the game when he was trying to do post fadeaways. Why? If you can shoot a regular midi, why are you trying post fadeaways? How long it took Jordan and Kobe to master that? Why are you trying to do that? That's like the hardest shot in NBA history. Why are you trying to do that? And he airballed both of them that he tried and he stopped. He can't shoot. at all. So your team are surrounded by shooters. So if they lock in on your paint game, how are the rest of the people are supposed to be able to produce if you can't do nothing? What's funny to me, and I'll say this to my dying grave, the last 2 games I saw, they flowed better when he was on the bench. I think they came back yesterday when he was on the bench. Yeah, they did. They came back when he was on the bench. And the minute he came back, Miami scored a quick 2 threes, just like that. And went up by like 6, like nothing. He's too limited. They're never going to win. And it's not necessarily because of the Bucks. It's because of Giannis. And so much for that defensive player of the year because he's getting his ass cut on defense too. I'm just saying. I forgot who said it yesterday. Who said it? They were talking about that he's this great help defender. And I don't know if it was Doris or it was the dude that was with Doris. It might be one of those two that said it. And I'm like, so you're telling me here that he won defensive player of the year because he's the best help defender in the NBA? Because I don't see that one-on-one. I see him get his ass cut. Bam Adebayo, is winning this match between the two. From what I see, at least. He's vastly overrated. Mind you, I like the guy. I actually do like him. As a person, he's lovable as crap. I'm talking about as a basketball player, I actually do like him, but he's just overrated. He's not that. He can't. There's no way you can think of him as the best player in the world when he's so limited in offense the way he is. It's kind of embarrassing to people that actually think that. And people overrated this team so much. They're literally exactly the same as last year. There's no difference between the last year's Bucks team and this one. So you guys are crazy. And they lost yesterday still with Jimmy Butler playing like absolute dog crap. And still lost the game. Goran Dragic is single-handedly obliterating this team. He's the best player in Miami Heat so far. And I don't understand, bro. So all you people who like to look at media and follow what they say instead of coming up with your own conclusions and making your own analysis, have fun looking stupid like the rest of those people on TV.
So at this point of the episode, the mic cut off and just got rid of all of our Clippers footage, unfortunately. So unfortunately, the episode is going to have to end here due to technical difficulties that we've been dealing with for the last 2 months. I guess I'm going to get new equipment or something. I don't know. But sorry for that. It was a doozy too. It was going to be great to watch. And I'm sure some people were actually looking forward to see Trevor go off on the Clippers. But that's going to have to wait for a future episode. Well, otherwise, like our content on YouTube, on Spotify, and iTunes, vice versa. Comment on all of our platforms, please. We'd love to get your feedback, and we'd love to get some of you even on the show, and share everywhere. We also have a Facebook group for you guys to join our conversation, join on our banter, our rants, or vice versa. Our Instagram is up too. Go ahead and follow us there. The updates will be on that. And our website is up and running too. Always under construction, but it's up and running too. So with that all said, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed my rant. Sucks that Trevor didn't get his out. With that all said, peace, love, and episode.